right, so I just finished season 1 of Frieren Beyond Journey's End. And you should watch it. That is going to be the short of this video. The rest is just going to be me saying why and gushing about season 1 because my god, if you were to say like this was the best anime of, it was mostly in 2023 and a little bit now in 2024, I'm not going to argue with you. I can't say you're wrong. This may very well be the best anime of the year. And I'm just like, damn, this is a good anime. Thank you so much for the people who recommended it to me. How do I describe this series? Actually, pretty easily. So you have your baseline group of heroes, the hero, the warrior, the cleric, the mage. They go off and they are having their adventure and they're off to defeat the Demon King to save the world. Cliche as you can get. We start, episode 1 is them having defeated the Demon King, and now it is Beyond Journey's End, the aftermath. So we go back to the capital city, everyone's praising them. One of the characters is a elf, so will live thousands of years. So this 10-year journey to defeat the Demon King is a blink of the eye to her. She doesn't understand the concept of time to a human. She knows that human lifetimes are shorter, but really she doesn't comprehend it. So when the party say, let's meet together for the next meteor shower in 50 years, she's like, okay, yep. She goes off, has a montage of just collecting spells, because that's her thing. She wants to collect all these little spells. She returns, oh, you've gotten old. And it is what happens to the immortal character as she loses her original party members and coming to terms with that. But then the absolute breakdown. Like, episode 1 ends with the hero's death. And she, at first, seems so apathetic almost, like she doesn't care, but then when it hits her that she'll never know him better, she has lost the opportunity to form a stronger connection. Why didn't she take advantage of the time that they did have together? 10 years was too short to know someone as deeply as she had wanted to. The emotional trauma like that moment brought to her was incredible. So now she is on a new mission to go off, reconnect in a way with those memories and understands those from her original party that she loved so much, but never really took the time, didn't really understand. She's going to retake the path that they had went on their adventure and try to reconnect and understand humans more and form those connections. Ordinarily, I do not like a meandering storyline. I want a clear destination, and we do get a destination with time, but I'll leave that out because while the end result is getting to know Himmel specifically better, the hero, and just connect with people better, I'll leave what the goal, the end result, what they want to get to is after, because really it doesn't matter. It is the journey that is important and the little moments along the way, not the end destination. So she has a new party, and we'll talk about them in a minute, that are traveling with her. This is a shonen anime, and I was a little bit shocked by that. I would expect seinen, but, or at least, I guess older shonen, but just because of the pacing. The pacing is really slow, but purposely so. Again, showing the passage of time, appreciating the little moments. While this is slow paced, it is no way boring. I never felt bored for a second. More comedy slice of life than action, but when the action does happen, because it's spells galore, it is incredible, and definitely comedy as well. And the running joke of Frieren being so inquisitive, so wanting, like, thirst for knowledge and investigation, that she thinks every chest might 1%, 0.0001% chance have a grimoire inside it, even though everything is telling them that it's a mimic and it's going to eat her. She's still got to open that chest, and her getting stuck in the mimics is the running joke that will never not be hilarious. So yeah, adventure, fantasy, slice of life, comedy, action, all together with glorious characters. Frieren herself is one of my favorite characters in anime, just full stop, love her. While she seems like muted in terms of emotion, she's definitely not. She feels things very deeply, just doesn't always understand the situation. She's also very lazy in terms of she's got no sense of time, so why should she rush? She wants to sleep in. She just wants to snack. I can relate. She loves the little things, so she had been praised for these little spells, so she's collecting all these little spells that brings people joy. I cried over the spell that made grapes sour, okay? Because someone else, one of her friends, likes sour grapes and sour wine. So of course, she found a spell that could make grapes sour for him, and I was emotionally hurt by that. But like getting rust off statues and cleaning clothes, that is what is important to her. That is what she finds joy in. These little spells, bird catching spells. And they are small. Not everyone knows them. They're going to be lost to time if somebody doesn't remember them, or if they're not passed down. Whereas more powerful spells, laser blasting, shields, flying, that they're more common. And I also love this world. It feels so lived in. As like I said, you have these little like farmers probably use this spell, but not everyone else knows it. But the idea that there could be a very powerful spell with no counters and it's taken on the world, and then humans over the years, like 80 years, will analyze it, understand it, incorporate it into their own magic system, make defensive spells against it, and now this once powerful spell is completely obsolete. It is so good. But again, there's no real sense of urgency in this story. They're not racing towards a destination or a goal. They're just following the path, trying to get to the end's location that they need to get to. And ordinarily, like I said, I hate a meandering storyline, but when the character works, when the themes, when everything is presented so flawlessly, apparently I can overlook that. I've already said that Frieren has no concept of time whatsoever, but so she'll spend months looking for a very specific flower so she can duplicate them and make them grow around this specific statue, and breaking my heart a little bit. She'll spend months there, but her human companions are like, listen, we've been here for so long. We need to continue on. We can't spend any more time looking for a flower that does not exist. Like, how about we just spend a few more years looking for it? So she got to learn to appreciate and understand other people's time, and that 10 years to her is nothing, but to a human, that is a lot of time. While most of the story is told in the present day, we are shown flashbacks of the original journey to defeat the Demon King, but nothing like hugely plot relevant, more little moments with the villagers and the relationships building between the original party members. And like in the present day, it will be like, oh, the little children from the first time that you were at this village have now grown up and they're elderly, or it's their great-grandchildren that are now there because so much time has passed. And again, I would kill for a spin-off just showing the original journey, mostly because Himmel is the sweetest boy. Himmel the hero. He was the leader of the party members. Everything with him is incredible. At first, like narcissistic, full of himself, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, you're posing for a lot of statues, whatever. But then you look into him, and he is so insightful. He knows Frieren's going to outlive them all, and he is so focused on making sure she understands that they are friends and will be cared for in the future. I love this man. I hope he has never suffered a second of sadness in his life. Such a good character, and we barely know him. Like, we haven't even scratched the surface. I'm with Frieren. 10 years would not be enough time to fully know and appreciate this man. I love him. I've already said the pacing is slow, but purposefully so to really emphasize the themes, the passage of time, but appreciating the little moments, like spending weeks, maybe months, cleaning up a beach so you can appreciate a sunset. Like, that episode was incredible. I love it so much. The flashbacks do well to parallel the original journey with what's happening in the present, a continuation of the story as something had been left behind during the original journey that Frieren has to now deal with 80 years later. Developing the themes of what you're exploring in that episode, how things connect, and just moving forward. I love it. I love it. Other characters are Fern, who is Frieren's now apprentice, and also very much related and had a relationship with the cleric of the original party. He raised her as his own daughter, wanted her to be cared for, and asked Frieren to take her on as apprentice to make her a powerful mage. And she just wanted him to know that she would be okay without him as he was getting elderly. And I love her so much. At first, you're like, oh, she has a lot to learn, because we meet her as a little child, and seeing her magic advance, and then you realize, we think she's like a novice because we're comparing her to Frieren. This lady is powerful. So powerful. And seeing the dynamic between her and Frieren change throughout the episodes, and her taking care of Frieren just as much as she's taking care of her, if not more, it's so good. She's such a good character. Twist My Arm and Force a Complaint would be the other one, the warrior who is Stark. He was the apprentice of the warrior of the original party and now is going with Frieren. So they have a will they, won't they relationship kind of going on, romance, and I'm not a fan. I'm far more interested in the psychopath and the guy with the glasses. Like, they need to get together. I'm all for it. Love it. It's gonna be toxic as hell, but I want to see it. But I don't really like Fern and Stark's will they, won't they kind of relationship. Fern gets a little bit violent with him when she's angry and because she likes him. Not a fan. Not a fan, but also they're like kids. Like, they're teenagers, I'm pretty sure. They're young. It's like, sure, high emotions, whatever. Oh my god. Stark is more comic relief. We haven't gotten too much with him, but he's a little bit insecure about his own strengths, but definitely very powerful in his own right. Oh, it's so good. We did have another character, Stein. He was the cleric healer, but not really a big part of the party. However, I'm not going to say anything real about him because you can experience the series for yourself. While my complaint is he doesn't really fit in with the group dynamic, which is mentioned in the series, I feel like it's going to be important, and then you just have to have patience for this moment with him to make sense and circle back around. With time, I feel that I'm just going to look back and be like, oh yeah, the moments that we had with him were very important and impactful and should have been appreciated more in the moment, but we didn't because he didn't fit with the group dynamic. But now, I'm assuming, I haven't read the manga, I'm assuming in the future, he's just going to come back and be like, of course you had to be with us during this time, so this could happen. I just feel like that would fit in with the themes very well. I trust this series that the purpose of his character will come around again. So what got me to really watch the series, it had been recommended by a couple people in the comment section, but what really got me was, of course, TikTok. It showed me a single clip, and I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta see what this series is. And it was Fern fighting some character who at the time I did not have a sweet clue, and all of a sudden he's got this look of realization in his eyes. And what was the quote? He's like, too afraid to fight fair. Both you and your master are a disgrace to the title of mage. And Fern looks at him and just goes, I assure you, Mistress Frieren knows that better than most. And I'm like, damn, okay, I need to watch this. And then that's not even taken into what happens after that moment, the brutal scene that shows how powerful Frieren is. Epic is the only way to describe it. There are no other adjectives. That's just what that moment was. In conclusion, watch Frieren Beyond Journey's End. It is wonderful. It's near flawless. It's perfect. This is such a good anime, and I only assume the manga is as good as this one is, because, oh my god, words cannot describe how good this series is. The character work, the themes, the execution of this story is so good. I can't imagine anything happening that could make me love this series less. So that's all I got. Talk to you later.